Every dad has walked past Harbor Freight without noticing the hidden hacks inside. What simple tricks could save you time, money, and frustration every weekend? Dad, you've been getting played at Harbor Freight, and you don't even know it. Here's the deal. That same wrench set you're eyeing, it's got three different price tags depending on where you look. Online shows one price, the weekly flyer has another, and the shelf tag? Well, that's a third number entirely. Makes sense, right? But here's where it gets sneaky. Sometimes walking up to the manager and simply asking, "Is this your best price?" can knock off another 10 or 15 bucks, especially on those beat-up boxes sitting on the clearance rack. They're practically begging someone to take them home. Here's a trick your buddy Mike probably doesn't know. Swing by on Wednesdays. That's when prices quietly drop before the weekend rush. While everyone's fighting over Saturday deals, you're already walking out with the goods. The kicker? A recent study found that over 20% of guys paid more than they needed to. Why? They grabbed the first price they saw instead of checking every angle. And here's the real secret sauce. Harbor Freight updates their prices after manufacturer cuts, but those dusty shelf tags don't always get the memo. Speaking of shelf tags, wait until you hear what employees really think about those warranty cards they're always pushing. Here's the thing about Harbor Freight tools. They're like dating in your 20s. Some relationships are built to last. Others are just fun for a weekend project. Let's start with the winners. U.S. General Toolboxes. These bad boys rival toolboxes that cost 3 times more. I've seen mechanics choose them over Snap-on. And honestly, who can blame them? Your wallet stays happy, and the drawers still slide like butter after years of abuse. Moving blankets and tool carts consistently punch above their weight class, too. But here's where it gets tricky. Avoid the bargain basement consumables like cheap drill bits and sandpaper. They'll quit on you faster than a teenager asked to mow the lawn. The Icon hand tools are gaining serious street cred lately. Some dads swear they beat national brands on performance and warranty. Makes sense, right? Then there's the Pittsburgh tier, perfect for those once-in-a-lifetime specialty tools. Need a bearing puller for one job? Go cheap. Planning to rebuild engines every weekend? Maybe invest a little more. Here's my golden rule. Match the tool quality to your project frequency. One-time use? Bargain away. Weekly warrior? Go mid-tier or better. But here's what most people miss about Harbor Freight's warranty system. Here's the thing about Harbor Freight's warranty that'll make your wallet happy and sometimes confused. Their lifetime warranty sounds amazing until you realize it only covers hand tools. Not power tools, not electronics, just the stuff you turn with your hands. But here's where it gets interesting. Walk into any Harbor Freight with a broken wrench or screwdriver, and they'll swap it out. No receipt needed most of the time. It's like having a get-out-of-jail-free card for busted tools. Well, almost free. The catch? Not every brand qualifies. Those cheap warrior tools? Often excluded from the party. Meanwhile, managers have more wiggle room than a yoga instructor, especially if you're a regular customer with gray hair. They seem to bend rules for loyal folks. Here's something wild. In 2024, over half of all returns used that no questions asked hand tool swap, but only 13% of people who bought extended warranties ever used them. That's like buying insurance for a $10 item that costs $5 to replace. Those paid warranty plans on cheap power tools? Skip them. You could literally buy 2 replacements for what the warranty costs. Sometimes the math is so obvious, even my calculator laughs. Speaking of math, wait until you see how coupon stacking really works in 2025. Harbor Freight's coupon game has completely changed, and most dads are still playing by the old rules. Here's what actually works now. Gone are the days of stacking 5 coupons on one wrench. These days, it's strictly 1 coupon per transaction, like a bouncer at an exclusive club, except the club sells socket sets. But don't worry, there are still ways to work the system. Your best bet? Inside Track Club member coupons. They're like having a backstage pass to better deals. Free moving blankets with any purchase, no coupon needed. It's almost too easy. Here's a trick that works more often than my neighbor's leaf blower at 7 a.m. Digital coupons on your phone. Even when they won't scan, most cashiers will manually type in the code. Makes sense, right? Multi-buy deals can sometimes dance with coupons, especially those buy one, get one free situations paired with percentage off deals. The key word is sometimes. Store policies vary like dad jokes at a barbecue, and the weird part is, holiday freebies still exist. Father's Day and Black Friday historically offer the most generous stacking opportunities. It's like Christmas morning, but with power tools. But even the smartest coupon strategy won't help if you're buying the wrong tools entirely. You know what's funny? Walking into Home Depot feels like shopping at a fancy steakhouse, while Harbour Freight is more like that hole-in-the-wall diner that secretly makes the best burgers in town. Here's the thing most dads don't realize. Harbour Freight actually uses a tiered system. Think good, better, best. Pittsburgh tools? That's your basic grade, perfect for weekend warriors who need something twice a year. Bauer and Hercules? Now we're talking mid-grade territory that'll handle serious projects without breaking the bank. But here's where it gets interesting. Icon and US General? These aren't your grandfather's cheap imports anymore. Some Hercules drills have literally beaten DeWalt and Milwaukee in head-to-head tests. I'm not kidding. Same torque, same battery life, half the price. The dirty little secret? Certain Harbour Freight tools roll off the exact same assembly lines as those fancy American brands. Different stickers, same guts. It's like buying store-brand cereal that tastes identical to the name brand. Icon wrenches have become legendary among mechanics. US General roller cabinets? They're giving Snap-on a serious run for their money at a fraction of the cost. Well, there's one more piece to this puzzle that'll save you even more money. Here's the thing about Harbour Freight sales. They're not random. They follow a calendar more predictable than your neighbor's lawn mowing schedule. Black Friday, Memorial Day, and Labor Day are the holy trinity of Harbour Freight deals. But here's what most dads miss. The real magic happens in the days leading up to these sales. Price leaks and online ad previews let you shop before the stampede begins. Sometimes you can snag deals 3 days early just by checking their website. Thursday nights? That's when stores adjust prices for the weekend rush. Smart dads know this is prime hunting time. Then there's the parking lot sales. These unadvertised gems happen randomly throughout the year. Tools marked at lowest price of the year sit outside, baking in the sun, while everyone else shops inside like suckers. Here's a move that would make your grandfather proud. Sale items often arrive in stockrooms days before they hit the floor. Ask nicely, and employees might check the back for tomorrow's deals today. A 2024 report showed storage and power tools dropping 10 to 25% below regular pricing during holiday mega sales. That's real money back in your pocket. But knowing when to shop is only half the battle. The other half involves understanding what employees really think about these tools. Here's something most dads don't realize about Harbour Freight returns. That 90-day window? It's more like a suggestion than a hard rule. I walked into my local store 6 months after buying a socket set. No receipt, just a sheepish grin. The manager looked at it, shrugged, and said, "Store credit work for you?" Turns out they have way more flexibility than that fine print suggests. But here's the real trick. Join their rewards program, and they can look up your purchase history under your phone number. No more digging through junk drawers for crumpled receipts, like some kind of archaeological dig. The damaged packaging angle works brilliantly, too. See that toolbox with a dinged corner? Ask for an open box discount right at checkout. Most cashiers will knock off 10 to 20% without batting an eye. Then there's my favorite loophole. Buy something on Tuesday, see it go on sale Friday. You've got 14 days to march back in there and claim the difference. Most stores honor this, even though it's not officially advertised. And those manufacturing defect returns? They're surprisingly generous about what counts as defective, especially if you bring all the original packaging and don't act like you've been using it to demolish concrete. Speaking of getting the most bang for your buck, wait until you hear about the brand games Harbour Freight plays. Ever wonder why that Harbour Freight wrench feels suspiciously familiar? Well, buckle up, Buttercup. You're about to discover the tool industry's worst-kept secret. Many Harbour Freight products are practically twins of name-brand tools. Same factories, different stickers. It's like finding out your neighbor's fancy car, and your beat-up sedan rolled off the same assembly line. Take U.S. General toolboxes. These bad boys get compared to Snap-on boxes constantly, and often win on value. We're talking about the same build quality at less than half the cost. That's more savings than finding a 20 in your old work pants. But here's where it gets interesting. Bauer and Hercules power tools aren't just wannabes. They're designed to go toe-to-toe with Ryobi and DeWalt. The battery platforms look eerily similar, though don't get any bright ideas about swapping them. Then there's Daytona Automotive Jacks. Word on the street? Same Chinese factories as the pricier brands, sometimes with better specs. It's like getting the recipe from the head chef's kitchen. Icon wrenches have even die-hard tool snobs scratching their heads. Some claim they rival Gear Wrench for grip and finish. Now, before you start planning your tool shed revolution, there's something employees desperately want you to know. Here's something most customers never realize. Harbour Freight employees are actually on your side. Well, most of them, anyway. I was chatting with a guy named Mike, who's worked the floor for 3 years. He told me something that blew my mind. "We literally watch the sale calendar," he said. "And if someone's about to buy something that'll be 20% off tomorrow, I'll tell them." Why would they do this? Simple. Returns are a pain in the neck. But there's more. That hidden stock thing? It's real. Popular clearance items get stashed in back because they know they'll sell fast. Ask if there's anything hiding back there. The worst they can say is no. Then there's the mismarked shelf price trick. If you spot a lower price than what scans, most employees will honor it without calling a manager. They'd rather keep the line moving than argue over $5. Here's what really surprised me, though. Employees see way fewer returns on the higher-tier stuff. Icon wrenches, U.S. General boxes, Hercules drills. Makes sense, right? You get what you pay for, even at Harbour Freight. One last insider tip they all mentioned. Check your tools in the parking lot before driving home. Missing parts happen, and catching it early makes everything smoother. Speaking of smooth transactions, there are certain items that never seem to qualify for those famous coupons. Here's the truth about Harbour Freight's fine print that'll save you serious cash. Not everything qualifies for those sweet coupons we've been talking about. Generators? Nope. Air compressors? Usually excluded. Certain name-brand items? They're off limits too. But here's where dads get sneaky. Tool sets are your secret weapon. Buying bundled sets drops the per-tool price dramatically, even if you'll never touch that weird specialty wrench. It's like buying a variety pack of donuts. You might not want the jelly-filled one, but the math still works out. The loyalty program thing? Pure gold. Sign up for their emails and club memberships. You'll get exclusive flash sales and sneak peeks before everyone else storms the store. Think of it as VIP access to Dad Paradise. Now, here's my favorite trick, and I learned this the expensive way. Those small battery and flashlight purchases add up to bigger coupons later. Harbour Freight rewards frequent shoppers with $5 or $10 coupons that stack with future sales. The ultimate dad move? Never, ever pay full price. Make your list, watch that sale calendar like it's the Super Bowl, and strike when the deals align. Harbour Freight's regular prices are just the starting line for real savings.